and I hope you get deported to Gaza. And I mean that, sir. You are a racist idiot.
Why are you raising your voice?
Yeah, okay. I'm raising my voice because you're a moron. That's why.
I'm tuning in here. I just don't understand why you're making race an issue, accusing Trump of being a racist. He's not. I mean,
sure.
How is it racist by him cracking down on these major cities? I don't understand.
Sure, I'll answer you. My friend. So first of all, these cities that he has talked about, they all happen to have black mayors. So let me ask you a question then. Why is it that he'd go into D.C. and Chicago when per capita the crime rates are lower than they are in many other cities across the country that have white Republican mayors and white Republican governors? Why is that, sir?
Well, quite frankly, the culture of the inner cities that ran Chicago, D.C.
The culture?
Yeah, the culture.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, the black culture.
Oh, okay.
The black culture.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Was it black culture on January 6th in D.C.? Was that black culture, sir? What would you call that?
Patriotism.
No. Patriotism. Oh, okay, so it's black culture when it's crime, but if you beat police officers on January 6th, that's patriotism. Is that what you're saying, sir? Is that what you're saying? Because you sound like...
Okay,
well, then you're an idiot. Then you're an idiot. Okay, keep him on. Don't hang up on him. Ashley Babbitt was an idiot. She went in on January 6th, broke the law. She deserved it. And for you to call people who beat police officers patriots makes you probably a white supremacist. So my question for you, sir, is what time is your Klan rally tonight?
I'm not
imbecile.
Part of the KKK.
Let me ask you. Yeah, you are the KKK. Let me ask you another question, you imbecile racist turd. Let me ask you another question. Since you think beating police officers on January 6th makes you a patriot, what would you say about Black Lives Matter protesters that beat police officers? What would you say about them? Are they patriots too?
They're savages.
Okay, so you're a savage if you're black and you beat a cop, but if you're a white person and you beat a cop on January 6th, you're a patriot. Is that your take, sir?
No, it's not.
No, yes, it is. That's exactly what you said. You said if you beat a cop on January 6th, you're a patriot. And I just asked you, what if you beat a cop during Black Lives Matter protests and you called them savages? I caught you because you're a racist. Why don't you at least own it and admit that you're a racist, you white supremacist?
Everybody.
Go ahead.
Not everybody beat a cop that day.
I didn't ask you about everybody, you stupid idiot. Answer my question. I'm going to ask it one more time, you white supremacist doofus moron, you. I didn't say everybody, you jackass. Answer my question. If you beat a cop on January 6th, we know people were charged and convicted and we've all saw the video. If you beat a cop on January 6th, does that make you a patriot? Because that's what you said.
I mean, you can be a patriot and a criminal at the same time.
What would you call somebody who beats a police officer?
Not a very good guy.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you now for a fourth time and answer the question, you white supremacist idiot. If you beat a cop on January 6th, what does that make you?
It makes you a criminal.
Okay, thank you. Why was that so hard for you to admit? So here's my question for you, sir. When I asked you that question and you immediately called them a patriot, but yet when I ask you the same question about a Black Lives Matter protest, you call them animals. Why is that, sir?
Because they burned down buildings or looting.
And what did they do on January 6th? What did they do on January 6th? By the way, I don't condone that behavior. They're criminals as well. Yes, they did. They destruction of property. Are you kidding me? Defecating on Nancy Pelosi's desk, breaking windows. What the hell are you talking? She deserves it. She deserves it. Yeah. So you think it's okay if you disagree with a politician, you're totally okay with any everyday citizen walking in there and taking a crap on somebody's desk. Sir, you are not a serious person. You are Donald Trump's base. You are a white supremacist turd is what you are. And I hope you get deported to Gaza. And I mean that, sir. You are a racist idiot.
Why are you raising your voice?
Yeah. Okay. I'm raising my voice because you're a moron. That's why. And you're wasting my airtime. You are your typical Donald Trump supporter. We caught you. Proof that you are a racist. Apparently, if you beat a cop at a Black Lives Matter protest, you're an animal and a criminal. But yet, when I ask you that question about January 6th and people who beat cops, you're a patriot. That makes you a white supremacist, racist piece of garbage. That's what you are. But James is next on PTL. Hello, James. James, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, James, what's going on?
How are you doing today?
Good.
Yeah, I was just seeing your social media over the weekend, and you posted a picture of the shooter was wearing a Trump shirt. Is this the case?
No, I don't believe that was. I believe that was a photoshopped image, and I've said that publicly. And no, that's not an image. That was a real image. That was an image that was put up, I believe, by CBS, where he was wearing a different shirt. That's my understanding of it. But no, my understanding is that was a photoshopped image. Unfortunately, we see photoshopped images on social media all the time. I'm not someone who photoshops images. I didn't do that. But what we do know is that he comes from a Trump-supporting conservative family. We know that. So does that answer your question?
Well, I was just wondering because you left it up for multiple days after many people told you it was photoshopped, and you still left it up.
Mm-hmm. So what do you want? Do you want to? Did that bother you a lot, sir? That bothers you as a Trump supporter?
Well, you just need to be held.
Does it bother you? Does it bother you as a Trump supporter? Tell me. Why does that bother you, sir? Does it bother you?
No,
tell me. Tell me.
Brian.
Okay,
Brian.
Are you going?
Lying Brian.
Boy, we have some real lunatics. We have some real lunatics.
Lying Brian.
Okay, so you can call me anything you like, even though I answered the question honestly. But let me ask you a question, sir. Does that bother you a lot this weekend? It bothers you so much that you couldn't wait to use your little Trump fingers to call into the show and call me. By the way, do you even know what a liar is? You see, if I went on the air. Okay, hold on. No. That was rhetorical. Let me explain to you something. When somebody pod down Tucker Carlson and his feminine laugh for a moment, please. Hey, jackass, let me explain to you the difference between pod him. If you can pod him down all the way, that'd be great, because I don't want to hear Tucker Carlson for a second. You see, this is what a lie would be. If I went on the air right now, knowing that it was a photoshopped image, and I said, no, that's not a photoshopped image, that would be a liar. Or if I knew I lost the 2020 election, but I lied to this day and said that I won in a landstorm, that would be a lie. It's not a lie to put up an image when you don't know that it was photoshopped. And then when you do know that it's photoshopped, you admit it on the air. So, you don't, by the way, you sound like the Joker, sir. So was it a lie when Donald Trump said he won the 2020 election? Was that a lie, sir? Yes or no?
There's the deflection.
Answer the question. No, it's not a deflection. Pot him down again. Pot him down again. If we can pot him down all the way, that'd be awesome. Thank you. So it was not a deflection. I answered your question. Z, did I not answer his question directly?
I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah, I didn't deflect at all. In fact, I owned it and I said, yes, it was a photoshopped image and I was unaware of it. So now I'm not deflecting. We are moving on from that because I admitted to you that it was a photoshopped image, an image that I did not Photoshop. So now I'm asking you a question. Let's see if you don't deflect. Was it a lie when Donald Trump said he won the 2020 election? Yes or no?
Are you ready?
We're waiting. Everybody's waiting. Was that a lie? Yes or no?
Hold the L on your bald forehead.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Notice how he doesn't want to answer the question. Another MAGA idiot who doesn't want to answer the question from a guy that he probably supports that's lied over 30,000 times plus since he's been in office. But you couldn't wait to call into this show and say, hey, Brian, was that a photoshopped image of the shooter wearing a Trump shirt? Thank you for the call, sir. I really appreciate that. It's good to see that you have your priorities straight. And thank you again for being a coward and not answering the question directly, because I directly answered yours. That's what these MAGA supporters do.
I mean, after we're just looking right now on CNN that JD Vance is saying that this was a person on the far left, right? And we don't have any evidence of that whatsoever.
Right. There's no evidence. First of all, he wasn't even a registered Democrat.
No, he was registered nonpartisan.
Right.
So
and
they don't have any voting records.
Nonpartisan, and his family were staunch Trump supporters.
Yeah.
But they're saying this came from the far left. JD Vance inciting violence and lying. So if this guy wants a definition of what a true liar is, that would be who that is. They're eating our cats and dogs, and this guy was a far lefty. Herb is going to make the claim. Right, Herb. Right. He cleaned my clock like you have an IQ over 20. Have a nice day, Herb.
Brian, I hope you're not done with me. I got a question for you, and then at the end, I got I'm going to praise you about something. I'm going to give you a comment.
Do I have to send you a check, Herb?
No.
Okay,
no, that's
good.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Listen, Brian, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about this new book that Jake Tapper, and he was co-author of this book, Original Sin?
I think it's absolutely despicable. I think it's a money. I think it's I've lost a lot of respect for Jake Tapper. I always had respect for him as a journalist, but sadly he's doing this for money, and I find it to be absolutely and utterly ridiculous and despicable. They're doing it. It's a money grab. Let's call it for what it is. It's a book tour money grab. They're doing interviews on CNN, and they're running while the country's going down the crapper. We're talking about Joe Biden and about how his health might have been deteriorating. Oh, well, he stumbled here and he stumbled there with a bunch of anonymous sources. I think it's despicable what CNN is doing. I think it's despicable what Jake Tapper is doing. Make no mistake about it. This is about money. Now, it would have been one thing if they actually did a report on it, right? Or if they did a 30-minute special on it. Even then, it would have been about ratings and making money, but maybe not as much. This is clear and cut. This is a book deal so that Jake Tapper and others at CNN can make money, and I find it utterly despicable and non-credible.
Well, I don't argue with you on that. There's no doubt about it. It's amazing. They're calling it one of the largest political scandals in this country.
Well, they can call it that so they can sell books, but who cares? I mean, there's people out there that say this is going to be the biggest book drop, on the planet. Melania Trump's got a book out, and it's going to be a tell-it-all. And who cares? Okay, the books are written in many cases to make money and to make headlines. They're a bunch of anonymous sources. Who cares if Joe Biden didn't recognize a famous actor? Who cares if allegedly Joe Biden was fumbling and mumbling? Who cares? First of all, he's not the president anymore.
Let me ask you this, though, Brian. Do you think that they should do an investigation on what was happening while he was in office and he wasn't able to, comprehend a lot of things? Do you think they should do an investigation now?
You didn't think he was able to comprehend a lot of things?
No, I'm saying based on the book, do you think they should do an investigation now on what was...
You have a bunch of anonymous sources. How can you do an investigation when you have no credible evidence? And by the way, Joe Biden...
No, they got people...
Hold on.
They have people that have come...
Who's come forward? Who's come forward? Besides a low-ranking intern and somebody as an anonymous source, and they haven't even given out his name. Can you name me one person of high ranking that has come out?
His chief of staff.
And what did his chief?
That he did.
And what did his chief of staff say?
There were some things that he said, and that was on.
What did he say?
That was on the news.
What did his chief of staff say?
Brian, I'm sure you're probably better aware of it than I am.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, there was nothing, and I'm telling you, when a man is in his early 80s, okay, and he might forget some things and might not be the same guy he was in his 70s, that is a very normal thing. Let me repeat myself. This is about making money. Jake Tapper and CNN, this is about making money so that people can talk about it and buy the book. It's despicable. I would say that about a lot of other books that are fictional. This is probably just another case of fiction versus fact. Joe Biden is no spring chicken. He's getting old. He's old. He's been old for a while. He wasn't the same guy he was 5 or 10 years ago. By the way, that's not a crime either, okay? Donald Trump is the guy that said less than a year ago, Donald Trump is the guy that said you need ID to buy bread. He said Jeb Bush got us into the war in Iraq. Donald Trump is the guy that said he defeated Barack Obama. Should an investigation be put into Donald Trump because some left-winger writes a book, or right-winger even that doesn't like Trump, writes a book about how, his health is, and he's not mentally fit? Come on. What are we doing here? It's insane.
Let me ask you this, Ryan. It's been over 200 people, they supposedly anonymous, I agree with you, that have come forward and said some things that they said he wasn't even having cabinet meetings and things like that.
Okay, so you care about people that say things on the record and put their name out there. Is that a fair assessment?
No, Brian, I'm
just asking you a question, that's all.
This is the third book that has come out about Joe Biden and his incompetency to be president of the United States. So all I'm asking you is do you think there should be an investigation? Because
all right, well, hold on. Let me ask you a question. This is really important. This is a very important fundamental question based on what you're talking about. Now, you're right. There may have been a couple hundred people off the record. That means absolutely nothing to me. So when somebody like a General Kelly goes on the record, not an anonymous source, this guy goes on the record and he says he literally heard Donald Trump call our brave men and women in uniform suckers or losers. Why is it that you don't put any credibility towards that and you don't believe it? But if a couple hundred anonymous sources are spoken about Joe Biden in a book, somehow you think there should be an investigation. But when somebody is on the record and a general, a 5-star general, says something that Donald Trump said about our brave men and women in uniform, you don't believe that. Explain that to me, Herb, please, if you can.
I'll explain it to you. Because there were 16 other soldiers, generals, that were alongside of Trump at that same time that said they never heard him say that.
So what about all the other people in Joe Biden? Okay, let's go there. Let's go there. Okay, so by your theory, if there are hundreds of people that were in Joe Biden's administration that are not saying his health was deteriorating, why wouldn't you believe them?
I don't know about those 100 other people.
Okay, so you're saying, hold on. So you're saying everybody in Biden. So you're saying everybody in Biden's. Herb. I need you to listen to my question. Herb, I need you to just listen to what I'm asking you. Let's calm down for a moment. So you're saying, Herb, that if a 5-star general goes on the record and says that he heard Trump call them suckers and losers, but you have over a dozen people that claim they didn't hear it, it probably didn't happen. But if you have some people in Biden's administration that are claiming he was getting old, by the way, not one name has come forward of substance, and you have a bunch of people in his administration that do not agree, people like Pete Buttigieg, for example, people like Kamala Harris, you're not taking those people into account. But if people say something about Donald Trump and then you have other people that say they didn't hear it, you're putting, do you see the double standard, Herb? Do you understand what I'm trying to...
No, I don't see the double standard.
You don't see the double standard. Okay, you don't.
Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg and some of the people that were around him on a daily basis, they're not going to come out and say anything that they saw anything, because they were saying during the course of time when he was president, if you look back...
So Pete Buttigieg, I got you. So Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris... No, I understand what you're saying. No, I get it, Herb. No, I've listened to you, Herb. You're saying you're attacking the credibility of Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris if you don't agree with their narrative. But any narrative that's positive to Donald Trump, you agree and you put credibility to their narrative. But if a 5-star general says that he said something, if it makes Donald Trump look bad, you don't believe he's credible. I totally understand you, Herb. You're not capable of listening to anybody who calls. By the way, can you explain to me why half of the people in Donald Trump's administration did not support him this time around? How about Mike Pence? Is he a lefty? Is he a liberal? Mike Pence. No, tell me. Half the people in Donald. Can you please? No. I'm asking you Herb. I always prove you to be a hypocrite, Herb. I'm asking you a question. You're right. I always prove that you're a hypocrite. Can you speak to me why half the people in Donald Trump's administration, staunch conservatives like Mike Pence, have warned you about Donald Trump and they didn't support him? Are they not credible either, Herb? So half of his administration, are they not credible? Are they lefty liberals? Is Mike Pencil, as I would like to call him, is he a lefty lunatic?
Yeah. I don't know if he is or not.
You don't
know. The only thing I called about was whether or not Joe Biden was capable of being president.
Well, go ahead and buy the book. Go ahead and buy the book. If you think it's credible, go ahead and buy the book.
No, I'm not necessarily going to buy the book. I just wanted your opinion.
Okay, well, I gave you my opinion.
Can I compliment you on something?
Oh, wow.
Before you hang up on me, can I compliment you?
I can't wait.
Okay. I got to give you respect for having David Pollack on your show multiple times. This guy comes on your show, gives you a hell of an argument.
Well, that's your opinion.
And I got to give you credit. I'm surprised you keep having him on, because every time he comes on,
here it comes. Where you're gonna. No, I know exactly what's gonna happen. Herb is gonna make the claim. Right, Herb. Right. He cleaned my clock like you have an IQ over 20. Have a nice day, Herb. By the way, I've had Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on this show. I've had Caroline Levitt on this show. I've had Vivek Ramaswamy on this show, so I don't need your backhanded compliment. Oh, thank you so much for having David Pollack on. Like I need your backhanded compliment. Yeah, you saying that he cleaned my clock is like a MAGA caller calling in saying that you clean my clock every time you call in, Herb. By the way, your clock has stopped a long time ago.